So there's a YouTuber, and her channel is Shelby Church, and she's one of many, but she popped up on my YouTube home screen today as a suggested or recommended video to watch. And it really, she's always been intriguing to me because, in my opinion, Shelby Church has everything that you would think would produce substantial return on investment in the form of vanity metrics such as views on YouTube, which this is a interesting conversation to have, because views per video that the average person sees is nothing more than just a vanity metric. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We're going to talk about YouTube, and we're going to talk about a few other things while we're at it. But, you know, looking at somebody's channel and whatever videos they have posted up recently and how many views they have is a really poor indicator of the success of the channel from so many different standpoints. I'm not going to get into them all here, but I can't help but use it as a comparison tool in the explanation or the example or the metaphor or analogy that I'm going to use today. And despite Shelby Church being fully capable and easy on the eyes, she doesn't get as many views as others. And that really bothers me. I mean, not to the point of which like I'm angry, but it really is telling in regard to how the YouTube platform has shifted, has changed, and how the algorithm has really gone downhill. Because if you look at her channel, her highest viewed video on this channel is 10 million views. That's pretty substantial, 10 million views. But if you look and see how long ago that was, you could then begin to track and see how the YouTube algorithm has changed over time, over leadership, changes in leadership from, you know, top down, CEO changes. It has changed. And I have to tell you guys, it's changed for the worse. I mean, it's still a viable platform and a great opportunity to connect with an audience and, you know, build a following and a subscriber base and, you know, market and advertise and make money for sure. But much like business has changed today in comparison to how it was 10 years ago or 4 or 5 years ago for that matter, you have to understand that, identify it, and then be able to adapt to it if you want your business to survive and thrive. So I have to equate this to something that Matt Walsh coined, or at least said in one of his videos, where you would find yourself, or at least your video, in the internet ghetto.
So it's, well, I call it the digital ghetto.
I'm pretty sure it was Matt Walsh who mentioned this. Your video winds up in the internet ghetto. And here's the deal. The ghetto, and you guys can probably picture what a ghetto would look like, whatever ghetto you think when you hear the term ghetto, typically has a certain type of mentality of person that would reside and live in said ghetto, opposed to, for instance, maybe the hills, you know, an affluent neighborhood in California or in Texas or in Nevada or in Washington or in Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, DC, New York. Yeah, they're different. They're not ghettos. But here's the deal. And here's how things have changed for the worse, in my opinion. And it's in regard to the topic of discussion and the conversation. And that, my friends, is in essence the idea, as there are 4 components to any YouTube video, which include the idea, the hook, the title, and the thumbnail. The title and thumbnail, that's subjective. I was actually watching Hines yesterday, and I was reading through some of his comments, and he was actually going back and forth with some folks in the comment section and explaining how he changed the title on one of his videos because it sounded too YouTubey, and he wanted it to be more in line with the vibe and the message than clickbaity. Subjective. But it also, depending on the title and thumbnail, will determine who and the type of viewer or audience you're going to attract. I mean, these girls aren't solo camping for, you know, the good of the overall environment or climate change of the world.
This video is definitely about camping, nothing else. As you can see, I'm just on my favorite camping YouTube website here. Just watching these ASMR camping videos. Love the visuals, love the sounds. Sounds good. Let's scroll down and see what they... Oh my sweet mother of cheeked up thumbnails.
What you doing out here with all this ass?
I'm gonna need a priest.
Amen.
Yeah, solo camping, got it. But anyway, it will pull in a specific audience.
Lonely girl with horse. Solo overnight camping.
Lord have mercy.
The fuck is this world coming to?
However, the satisfaction or level of satisfaction or possibility of perceived satisfaction is going to boil down to the idea. Interestingly enough, these videos of these solo campers rarely have a hook, or at least a verbal hook that would be identified in a transcript, because they typically start off with some sort of slow pan and raindrops or music or whatever it may be, and there's no actual talking. So the hook kind of isn't as important as you would think. But in essence, it's still a hook. You just don't have to say anything. But the idea, well, that's going to determine whether or not people are satisfied and whether or not they click out early, or if they stay, or if they subscribe, or if they click a link and follow you to your OnlyFans, because the idea matches the title and thumbnail and therefore should produce the greatest level of satisfaction. Again, all based on the intended audience. And this, folks, is just one of many reasons why I think Shelby Church is somewhat gypped. She's hidden from view. Again, changes in the algorithm, but also from the standpoint of, over time, the interest of the audience has changed, or at least the algorithm has changed the interest of the audience to really dumb down society, to really trap folks in a dark, dark hole, in a terrible place that is literally just an onslaught and a repeat of a familiar story. And that story is demise, doom, gloom, panic, fear, anxiety, destruction, war, fighting, crime, murder, death, rape, loss, theft. I'm running out of adjectives here, or adverbs, or noun. I don't know. You guys get the point. But the thing is that Shelby Church doesn't live in the ghetto, and neither do her videos. The other ones do. In the ghetto, it's a bunch of trash. It's a bunch of garbage, and it's a bunch of folks who unfortunately have been placed there and quite possibly are going to be stuck there. There's very little hope of them getting out of the ghetto, plain and simple. And they know that. They have been taught that. They have been told that. They are reminded that, and then they tell each other, and then they somewhat create this confirmation bias and substantiate this scotoma, this cognitive dissonance that this is the best you got, which is absolutely awful and terrible. But be that as it may, you should try and make it part of your life on a daily basis. You should find ways to make your life even worse than it already is, or at least consume content of someone else's life that is quite possibly worse than yours. I don't really know how this is going to be helpful or beneficial to you in the long run, but this is what you should do. So the type of videos and content that is served into these ghettos is what they would want to see. They don't want to see how Shelby Church is producing passive income through real estate and short-term rentals and Airbnb. They don't want to see how Shelby Church is going to share with you how a business owner is making money with a blow dryer bar or anything like that. They want to see the fights. They want to see the drama. They want to see the relationship battles and struggles. They want to see people's fail videos. They want to see people losing their money. They want to see people being evicted, and they want to see migrants killing other people. They want to see tragedy and destruction and all the problems that you guys have probably seen here today, or at least in the last 48 hours in your history, or at least being recommended to you or receiving notifications on your phone that these videos have been made and YouTube is serving them to you. It's because YouTube considers you to be a loser. YouTube has placed you in the ghetto. And YouTube is saying, well, you need more of this to remind you of just how bad life is so that you can think that maybe yours isn't so bad after all. Where in turn, on the flip side, in contrast, 180-degree difference, on the other side of the world, 180-degree difference, other side of the world. That means the world's not flat. But either way, if you were to offer this type of content to those that live in the hills, and they don't live in the ghetto, odds are they're probably not going to watch it. Odds are they're probably not going to be interested. Odds are if they do, they'll say, man, that sucks, it's too bad. Let's make sure that never happens to us. However, if you serve them the content, the information, the knowledge, the education, the intellect that Shelby Church offers and provides on all of her videos and other channels like hers, then they would be interested. But there are far fewer of them than those that are being held down and blinded and only shown the worst, those in the ghetto. If you were to hold a seminar or a meeting or a mastermind or anything of value in the ghetto, no one would show up. Nobody would show up. But if you hold that same event in a big city surrounded by big businesses and high income earners and higher education, and the average median income is up there, people will show up. You'll probably have to turn them away because you won't have enough seats. You hold a backyard brawl in the ghetto and you charge a cover for people to show up. Same rules apply. There'll be standing room only. You do that in the Beverly Hills, the Hollywood Hills. You do that in the affluent neighborhoods behind the gated communities with the guards. Well, they would probably pay too. That's the fucked up part about it. That's the fucked up part about it. But it's eye-opening. It's a revelation. It's a reminder that unfortunately, maybe perhaps I found myself in the wrong place at the right time because of a huge opportunity that was presented, and now I have to find a way to claw my way out and escape this internet ghetto that I've been trapped in. I think I can do it though. Only time will tell, but I'll give it a shot. Worst case, I still make money. Best case, I end up like Shelby Church. Granted, I'll receive less views per video in theory, but at the end of the day, it'll all be worth it. Far more worth it. It's kind of like if you were to think about maybe one of these high income earners and the amount of money they make for the amount of hours they work. Most doctors are probably not in the office 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 to 6, 7 days a week. But they make they'll make a considerable amount more money than someone who works a regular job, clocks in, punches in, clocks out, makes an hourly wage and works 40 to 80 hours a week and quite possibly has a second job or third job or a side hustle driving Uber or Lyft or DoorDash or Walmart Spark or whatever. And that's the same way YouTube works. And that's the same way these videos work. And that's the same way you'd have to compare this vanity metric where Yeah, you're working really hard and you're getting a lot of hours, but you're not making much money. You're working really hard and you're making a lot of videos and you're getting a lot of views, but you're not really making much money. You're not really building a future for yourself that would actually allow you the opportunity to retire and still continue to make money through passive income, because everything that you've created is designed in a way to be served to those in the ghetto, and they don't appreciate it at all. And as quickly as it rises, it falls even faster. So you yourself are stuck in the ghetto too. You may have the nicest house in the ghetto, but you're still in the ghetto. I don't want to live in the ghetto. Thanks for watching, guys. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Let me know if you got any questions. Hit me up. My info is in the description. Until next time, you guys take care. Be safe. See you real soon. Bye.